Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope you're doing well. One thing I had in mind, and I really want some madaris to incorporate this, it is highly possible that many madaris are incorporating this. I'm not in touch with different madrasas at the time, except for the madrasa wherein I teach and the madrasa where I graduated from. So the madrasa I graduated from, they didn't have this concept. And if you are a talib al-ilm, you're currently studying in a traditional Islamic seminary, let me know if you guys have this concept that I'm going to talk about. But I was thinking that in every single year of the journey of the Dars Nizami or whatever syllabus a person is following, there should be a one period a day, whether your periods are 40 minutes to an hour, of tahqiq lesson. Tahqiq is research. So ideally, you would sit in the library, and every madrasa requires a library. It's not mustahab. It's like every madrasa needs to have an extensive library. And many madrasas have extensive libraries, but they're not available for the students for some odd reason, which was the case where I studied. It was not really available for the students to really do tahqiq and research. And even if it was, the students have no idea what the books are for. They just see a 50-volume Tahdhibul Kamal, 50-volume Musnad Ahmad, 80-volume Tarikh Dimashq, and they have absolutely no idea what these things are, what they're for, and they're quite intimidated by these things because they stretch the entire wall and cover an entire bookshelf. So the idea is that every madrasa incorporates, and this should be in every single year, perhaps not Darutul Hadith because they need all the time they can get to cover all of those ahadith, but from Ula or As-Saful Awwal all the way till before Darutul Hadith, irrespective of how many years there are. We had a total of 7 years, so that would be 6 years of this one period every single year. It's just one period out of the day, but it's every single day. And you would have an experienced ustadh who knows how to do tahqiq, or what's even better is have specialized asatidha, and they take turns with this class. So depending on what year it is, the level of tahqiq will be more and more rigorous and difficult. So for instance, the first year, they will introduce the students to various different kinds of books, elementary books, especially books regarding the fields that they're involved with at the time. So for instance, Arabic is probably the most important thing for a student in the very beginning. So the teachers should actually show, there should be a ustadh who's really good in Arabic and knows how to do research and tahqiq in lugha, and he will sit with the students at this time and kind of show them, okay, this is the book that you cite for this reason. These are the different ma'ajim and the different dictionaries. This is how they work. Give them a muqaddimah for the handswear, a muqaddimah for Qamus al-Muhit, and the Taj al-Arus and all the larger dictionaries, etc. And then showing them how to use it, and then giving them tamareen and exercises to understand what these books are, and then giving them a bio of the authors and where they fall in and the importance of the kitabs. And so then the students will have time to do actual homework, and then perhaps for the exam they go and show their research capabilities. So you have in the beginning a ustad for lugha, and then you can have a ustad for fiqh. So the ustad who is ideally a mufti, he will come and he will sit with the students and show them the fiqh section of the library. And what a beautiful environment it would be if it is in the library itself and they just sit in a circle around the ustad. And the ustad has like this prepared lesson, and he talks about the various different levels of books in fiqh, how to use them. Many Dars Nizami madrasas, they follow the Hanafi madhab, if not all. But having an ustad who knows the other madhahib and the other kitabs that are very mu'tamad in those fields, showing them how to use it, then maybe going into like how a fatwa is written, and showing them how to cite these different books, which book is for what purpose. For instance, Hanafi students the typical Dars Nizami student just kind of stops at Al-Hidayah, doesn't really go beyond that. So what is Bada'i'ul Sana'i'? What is it for? Why would I use it? What are the other shuruh? Why would I use al-bahru ra'iq? How do I use raddul muhtar? All of these various things, and them having to open it and do istikhraj and take out the masail from there. Then you have a ustad in hadith who's a specialist. He'll sit with the students and then he'll share with them all the different various books. Every single field is a different ocean. So the different, shuruhul hadith, and then the, books of Rijal, Tahdhibul Kamal, and all of those. And then you got, Gharibul Hadith, and you have Ilalul Hadith, and you have all of these. So you go over the genre and talk about the authors and really give targheeb to the students and get them to fall in love with tahqiq and research. And it goes on and on and on. All the, ilm al-kalam and the aqaid and this and that and so many different things. What this will do is, number one, create a love for tahqiq in the students. Now, this may seem like, okay, this is obvious, students would love to do tahqiq anyway. That's not true. I'll tell you a personal story. After I finished, and alhamdulillah, I did well in madrasa. I was not a student that, alhamdulillah, I was in the top few percentile in the class. When I graduated, because we were not used to doing tahqiq, and I went into a class of takhassus fil hadith in a different madrasa, the teacher, my teacher in hadith and takhassus and specialization in hadith, he gave us a lot of homework. And part of that homework was just to get up and find different books and search in them and find what he was referring to on our own in those books. That was kind of in the very beginning, we had to do that. I found myself not being capable of doing that. I found myself to find it cumbersome and very difficult to get up and pull out a book from the shelf and find the book where it's at. I didn't have the knack for it. I didn't have the love for it at all. I just liked to sit and read a book cover to cover. I did like to learn. I could read books in and out. I could, whatever you gave me, I could read it. But getting up, finding the book, researching, opening it up, taking a snippet here, going to another book, taking a snippet there, doing takhrij, looking at rijal, that was not something I could handle. Eventually, alhamdulillah, we learned, but that was my case in the very beginning, and that's after I graduated as a supposed scholar, alim. So having this tahqiq period will solve this situation. The students should be able to answer their own questions when they graduate. How unfortunate it is that many students, when they graduate, and I'm talking about from my own experience in the Dars Nizami situation, many classmates, many individuals that I know, they're incapable of answering their own questions. They have to find someone else who can answer their questions. If someone asks them a question, they're an imam of their locality, you find them asking someone who did ifta. Why do you have to go and ask someone who's a mufti when, if you should be able to understand what the kitabs are? If you study the Hanafi madhab for 6-7 years, you should at least be able to give an answer to a person who asks you regarding something about ibadat. Yes, I understand if it's something about nikah, talaq, and something nuanced and something where you don't want to make a mistake, that's understandable. But when it comes to simple things, what is a nawaqidul wudu? Some ulama, and I shouldn't say ulama, some tullab who graduated from the durus, they have such a lack of confidence in their research capabilities because there was no class for it. They have to ask someone else for it. So it will give you that confidence and it'll make you love doing the research. So that number one is you will start loving research, and you will start, number two, loving kitabs. You will start loving books. Many students, they don't love books. It sounds very odd. A student of Islam, he doesn't love books. But yes, there are many students who don't like, you don't have to own books, but you should have the love of books and the love of qira'ah and the love of tahqiq and research. And the third thing is you become independent. It's really important to become independent in your ilm. This is a gift that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives, and it's so valuable. You are capable of just feeling free, and alhamdulillah, there's this confidence that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you. Even though you might not know everything, you just feel so confident that I can go and pick up whatever book I want and I can study that book. that will be developed to a high degree. And then a fourth thing would be you start understanding kitabs, you start understanding ulama. You're not limited to, let's say, 20 books. Islam is not limited to 20 books. There's hundreds, thousands of kitabs. So we have to keep on learning every day. Even myself, I don't know that many kitabs. Alhamdulillah, I know a good amount. As you can see, I'm surrounded by them. I know every one of these, and I know triple, quadruple more than these, as you know, a talib al-ilm should know. But every day I learn about a few more kitabs. I'm always looking at bookstores and different kind of things, videos about kitabs, so my knowledge of what's available grows. But that base of what the books are, out there, that was formulated when our asatida forced us. In the takhasus and ifta programs, they force you to go and just find out what's out there. And that created a love for kitabs for me. But I just always felt like, why is it in the postgraduate courses only? Why don't we introduce this in the normal course, this tahqiq class? I think it would be extremely beneficial, and I hope this benefits you. If you are someone who is a admin in a madrasa, perhaps you can let me know if this is incorporated in your madrasa. If not, maybe what are the cons to it? Why aren't madaris doing more of this? Jazakallahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.